Looking down here at the iconic city of London, the London stage then presented by TfL, just about ready to start. 111 riders waiting to roll away, and in the yellow jersey, Steve Cummings, hoping, of course, to hold on to that at the end. Cummings with a 26-second advantage over Rowan Dennis, and Tom Dumoulin third at 38 seconds. Ahead of them today, a 6.2 kilometre circuit that's got to be covered 16 times, giving us 100 kilometres in all.
A few apprehensive faces, but I think in general most people are looking forward to this. No neutralisation that we've seen in other stages. It's from the off, kilometre zero.
And immediately riders trying to get away. 4 riders eventually did distance themselves. Gabs Calaig of Great Britain, Jasper Bovenhaus of Ann Post, Taylor Phinney of BMC, and Tom Stewart of Madison Genesis. And these 4 went clear and stayed ahead for most of the stage.
Yeah, these 4 leaders never got much more than 55 seconds. It was pegged about 30 seconds for a lot of this time. And
for Jasper Bovenhaus, he wanted to make sure he could pick up points just to finally ensure that he would be the Yodel Sprints winner. That's exactly what he did, and that meant that Greipel couldn't challenge him. But then in the closing stages, the 4 were being pulled back.
Yeah, during the middle of the race, it was the Team Dimension Data that were leading the peloton, just keeping Steve Cummings, the yellow jersey, out of trouble.
So their lead, which was almost a minute at one point, was coming down and down as the peloton lifted the tempo to try and set up their sprinters in the closing stages.
So they were whizzing past at many of the attractions of London. Mark Cavill just sitting in the wheel of Steve Cummings. As we come up to the second sprint on lap 8, Bovenhaus taking maximum points yet again.
And that meant that he had sealed the Yodel Sprint Jersey competition. He finally ended the day with 24 points, which meant he got 12 more than he needed his challenger, Andre Greipel. He sat up, job done, as Ethics Quickstep came to the front of the peloton to try and start to chase down the 3 remaining leaders.
And it was former yellow jersey wearer Julian Vermont that was leading the way, but just as they were about to be brought back, Taylor Phinney put in a dig.
About 6 seconds the advantage when Taylor Phinney decided he was going to have a go to try and win the stage. In the penultimate lap, he went away. Then they were joined by Alex Dowsett as Tom Stewart had once again linked up with Taylor Phinney. So now it was a job for the 3 to try and stay clear.
Alarm bells in the peloton as Tony Martin came to the front for Ethics Quickstep, but Tom Stewart said never, and he didn't want to be brought back by the peloton.
But he eventually was brought back, and it was down to the efforts of the Ethics Quickstep riders. And then in the closing stages, it was Team Sky that came to the front with Big Ian Stannard trying to lift the tempo to set up the sprint for the Sky riders.
It was into the last kilometre, and it was Lotto Soudal that were propped in the front of the peloton with Seberg and De Bucherer.
And we were thinking that it was going to be Greipel that would take the sprint, but Greipel allowed his teammate that we're looking down at the front here, Jens De Bucherer, the former Belgian champion, to lead into the finishing funnel, and he had the advantage. But on the extreme left, it was the express train, Caleb Ewan riding on Orica Bike Exchange, that spoilt the party for De Bucherer, crossing the line first. Second was the Dutch champion, Dylan Groenewegen, and Jens De Bucherer just held on for third, but the winning margin was emphatic for Ewan as he crossed the line.
And just look at the sheer speed of Caleb Ewan for Orica Bike Exchange as he swept past De Bucherer, taking the win for Orica Bike Exchange. A great win for this young Australian.
Finally gets his win. He was second at the end of stage 1 in Castle Douglas, but now he gets the win, and there were celebrations all round in the Dimension Data team with Steve Cummings the overall winner. Stage result: Caleb Ewan winning from Dylan Groenewegen. Jens De Bucherer was third from Boy van Poppel fourth. Man celebrating on the podium, the stage winner, Caleb Ewan. Second in Castle Douglas, fourth at the stage finish in Bath. The overall standings confirmed: Cummings winning by 26 seconds from Dennis, third Tom Dumoulin at 38 seconds. Podium celebrations at the end then for Steve Cummings, Rowan Dennis and Tom Dumoulin, the top 3 finishers in the 13th edition of the Tour of Britain.
Award of the race
And the King of the Mountains winner was Sandro Maurice, riding on the Wanty Group. And the winner of the Sprints jersey, Jasper Bovenhaus. Let's hear from the winner of this year's race.
Steve Cummings of Team Dimension Data. You finished second in this race twice before. You're the second British winner of the inception of the Tour of Britain. How are you feeling after that?
I'm delighted. Finally, I can smile and enjoy it. It's been a tough week, and it was so close. It wasn't done until I crossed the line. And yeah, I'd like to thank all my teammates for doing such a good job all week and keeping me out of trouble and sacrificing their own chances. And also thank the British public for supporting every day like they have. It's been amazing. It's been a great week.
Well, that's it for the 2016 Tour of Britain. Look forward to seeing you next year. So long for now.